So normally the way it would work is you would have one, and then it would be and the next. So it could either be done in, and usually they're actually lined up to come in. So when they're outside in the yards, bringing these cattle in, it's, they're set in the order in which they're gonna come, because otherwise it can be both dead. But you could do that, and then at the end, auction off the group.
I think this is great. I was also going to suggest that they should do like one or two with just voice and stuff, and then as we do the third and fourth, maybe we start to play in these colors.
And maybe it could,
it could
start from. Et maintenant, le nouveau 53, magnifique flûtiste qui vient avec un lot complet de flûte ancienne. Elle est encore là, d'un âge tout à fait respectable, beaucoup d'expérience, un élément incomparable qui pourra rajouter à votre collection. Alors, les enchères sont parties à 45 $, et bien sûr, 60, 80, 90, c'est 90, c'est ce que j'entends. 100, 110, 115, 120, 120 pour le numéro 6, 120 pour le numéro 26, c'est un peu plus de 122, 135, 135, 135, 140 pour le numéro 28, 140 pour cette magnifique flûtiste, 148, 148, que j'entends 150, 150, 151, bravo, 353 fois, 150, Gigi au numéro 48, pour 150 beaux dollars. Le numéro, le 1272. Tromboniste, propre de sa personne, vient avec les lunettes et le trombone tout équipé, parfaitement fonctionnel. That could be fun.
Yeah, it could be fun, but in an auction you have a distinctive sign. So everybody has either a number or a distinctive sign that they make, like this or something. So it would have to be always the same thing that you do. Otherwise it's not really clear what happened. And then the music should happen from these individual moments, and you should think about how to combine these individual moments rather than having improvising, you know. It's more the improvisation would be how to improvise together, not what to improvise on your instrument.
But they're more in the roles of
bidders.
No, I think they're bidding because there's nobody in the audience, but it's.
But the audience won't necessarily know to bid.
Yeah, but Al points that way, not this way. I think they shouldn't be bidding. It should be just like being a reflection of that kind of playing, and then the unique. Maybe it's my sound that needs to be unique, like the same one every time, and maybe you do.
What's your role?
I'm the spotter, so I'm spotting who is.
Could it be like we have a signal that makes us bid, and then otherwise we're like functioning as a.
Yeah, it could be both too. Yeah.
Do you think we could auction off sounds instead of the person? Because that kind of opens up an out section for me about auctioning off the person, but the sound is a bit more. I think it's a bit funnier, anyways, or a bit more interesting, and also stays away from that whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you look like or something.
Yeah, or like whatever that whole thing is. But the sounds, like we can all offer, and here's a sound, and if you like it, you know, and maybe it could be a whole.
Yeah, because there's a kind of human trafficking kind of thing.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
So that it was Deborah being a piece of music.
Yeah.
I thought it might as well be cows. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah.
I like the idea of the sound being because it makes people also listen to the sound.
Yeah.
It should demonstrate it several
It's
times.
harder for you though. It's harder for you.
Well, I'm whatever, but it's just that then it means that if you want to sell the sound, should we talk over the sound? But that makes it a little messy, but.
Should there be like constant demonstration of the sound?
I guess so.
Because otherwise it gets very.
Or you could punctuate this. You could stop and say voila, and always point to the sound.
Okay, but then because the idea of the auction, I thought was to have a continuous flow. But maybe your sound could be one note.
Right, like maybe we could be on a loop just to demonstrate.
But if you make one sound, one, et nous avons maintenant un magnifique do dièse, on va do dièse au trombone, do dièse au diapason 442, exactement 442, toujours utile d'avoir do dièse à 442, les enchères commencent à 35, do dièse, pour ce magnifique do dièse. I have no perfect
Then
pitch,
maybe you could sell a note that's a quarter sharper or something.
Oh,
and
nous
now-
avons un do dièse
Yeah.
ici, très particulier, un article rare, do dièse au diapason 548, rarissime, joué par ce trompe d'exception, do dièse au diapason 548 à vendre, une occasion unique au marché.
Wait, Eleanor, play it.
And then we'll
And then say the instrument too. The instrument, a particular technique later.
Oh, but that could be a duet, oh.
Does it, you wanna see?
Okay, yeah, we have here, et nous avons ici un article incomparable, un unisson, une tentative unisson, violoncelle trombone, c'est un unisson qui complétera votre collection magnifiquement. Les enchères débutent à $6. J'entends $8, est-ce que j'entends $10? $10 pour cet unisson, $10 pour cet unisson historique. Allez, $12, j'entends $12, $15, est-ce que j'entends $18, $18, $20 pour cet unisson, $20, ne laissez pas cet unisson partir, $22, $24, est-ce que j'entends $30, $32, est-ce que j'entends, oh, cet unisson est magnifique, c'est une occasion unique, et il vient avec un trémolo intégré, $36, est-ce que j'entends 38 pour le trémolo, 30, 40 Eventually you have to stop bidding because we're
No,
looking
but
for
also, it could also be that as people integrate the sound, gains value, and it's just it never
Yeah.
it just sells once, you know, at the
Yeah.
end. Because everybody, if people,
like
if the
it.
audience starts doing that, like, it won't stop, and nobody's.
Yeah,
There's not
like
that
that.
real, like, okay, this
Yeah,
is
there's
too
no stake.
expensive.
Yeah.
moment. It's not gonna happen.
Oh, nous avons-
No, but
Describing
I'll
the
go
change.
around and take the take the check.
Well, to pay musicians.
Yeah.
Est-ce que j'entends un triton? J'entends un triton,
Oh.
mesdames et messieurs, j'entends un triton de la qualité. Le rêve de votre musique, j'entends $45 pour ce triton. Quelqu'un vient de tête une interactivité, j'entends $48 pour ce triton. Nous avons maintenant un accord de septième, un accord de septième. $50 qui offre $50 pour l'accord de septième. J'entends une... Je sais jamais de décrire ça.
Should we fix what kind of sounds, or should it still be improvised?
No, I think it's funnier.
I think maybe the only thing to fix is like the felt duration of the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Well, eventually, I
Right.
guess
Is there only one?
it needs
I
to
think
be
it would be
sold
good
to
to
someone.
I think this is the kind of thing that if you try to go 10 minutes, it gets
Mhm.
old.
Yeah,
I would do 5 minutes.
Especially if it's a drone,
Yeah.
like if we're gonna go into that.
yeah, maximum.
And maybe you could also do the thing that I heard, at least falling with your voice.
Yeah, I could.
If it's starting with the sound and you arrive, that lets you time to prepare a little, and we have a little sound as dans le fond, and you can start.
It's like cadence.
It's
Well,
a few seconds more, no, it's
But
not
then
helping.
to improvise that at the same time as I'm improvising what I'm saying makes it eventually a little tricky.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
Yeah.
think maybe what I could do would be eventually stop saying something and just. Est-ce que j'entends 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 55, 55, eventually
We
I would
could-
turn
We
into
could
something like that.
join you.
Well, because if you had built up the sound anyway, you will eventually get quite loud, so.
Yes, yes, yes.
I won't be heard until I will go for something like that.
Eventually, it's like, oh, je fais partie, ok, je fais partie du long, maintenant je fais partie du band, ok, je fais partie de...
Une magnifique voix de mezzo-soprano, c'est-à-dire.
So how do we know when the 5 minutes is over?
Oui,
We're
do
sold.
a
Oui,
mock-up.
c'est long. Hein?
Je pense que c'est Jess qui va à un moment donné va faire stop.
Boom.
Yeah.
C'est vendu au numéro 63 pour la somme de 495 $. Magnifique
And we stop, and you
Yep.
do
Yep.
your final thing.
Yeah.
So we stop, you make your final.
You could also do it if I'm playing, if you want.
One more thing.
Up to you, really.
Yeah, and I'll make cookies at the same time. Good. Okay. Okay.
Is that easier?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's fun.
Perfect. I could do, I don't know, but it would be the narrator that.
Yeah, I guess it's me. It would make more sense if I would go. When I
Dreaming
can
of
see that, I'm copying myself. Vendu au numéro 63, c'est magnifique le stop pour la somme de 85 $. Et maintenant, nous passons au lot 468. Un si bémol.